Check out the latest highlights from the Nourishing You podcast.
So as we talk about this going into the new year, we know so many people make resolutions to lose weight or commit to some type of a new diet strategy. Maybe keto, maybe vegan. They've read about intermittent fasting. But what we know is like 95% of these diets fail long-term, right? And people end up right back where they were or gaining more weight than what they started out to lose in the first place. And it's really sad and frustrating that happens. But I know you've got a lot of experience with this. So what do you see with your clients? Why do most of these diets fail? And why aren't we able to get the sustainable change that we're looking for?
I think, first of all, any diet will work. They all work. Any of those that you mentioned, every single one of them will work for anybody. The problem becomes what is sustainable for people, right? I mean, we can sustain things for, a minimal amount of time. We all can do that. But to keep things going over the long haul, that's a different story. And I feel like that's the biggest issue with anything that has a name for a diet, keto, whatever. It is a temporary thing. And that's how people look at it. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this and then I'm done. Where I think success comes from those that can find a way of eating that is sustainable forever. And I like to say this. If you can't see you eating a particular way for the rest of your life, then don't bother doing it. There's no point in doing it because the weight that you're going to lose quickly, you will not be able to maintain that weight loss because you will not have a sustainable approach, right? So you're far better off going to a much slower process, which can be frustrating at times. I get it, but you're going to be far better off in the bigger picture if you do something slower that's more sustainable. And ultimately, you're going to get to your goal faster that way because you're going to be able to be more consistent with it.
So I've heard you talk about, the right way to lose weight and the wrong way. And a lot of that has to do with making sure that when you're trying to lose weight, that you preserve lean tissue. And I think that's something a lot of people don't understand. So can you explain why it's important when you're losing weight to make sure that to prioritize maintaining lean tissue so that, or why that's important? I'll let you're the expert, fill us in.
Sure. I think in order to protect our muscle mass, protein needs to be a vital component of any kind of weight loss nutrition, right? I know in the Inner Circle, we emphasize tracking only overall calories and protein, because protein is so important for us for what you were saying, to help preserve our muscle mass. Because as we age, we've probably started losing muscle mass in our 30s, about 5% a decade, maybe not quite that much. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's something like that. Mm-hmm. And so Mother Nature's already started taking swings at us. And the thing is, as we get older and into our elderly years, if we don't have muscle mass when we're 70, 80, 90 years old, even, because we're all living so much longer now, we're going to be in big trouble. And anybody that has taken care of elderly parents has probably seen that firsthand. I have with my own parents. That generation was not as knowledgeable as our generation is. And our generation is probably not going to be as knowledgeable as the one behind us. They learned a lot of stuff earlier on. So each generation coming up is learning more and more and more. It's going to be in a better place. But for us, it's a matter of preserving and building more muscle mass so that as we age, we can have a functional life. I mean, that's what this is all about. And protein is a key component of that. So many people undereat protein. And so I like to emphasize getting, a certain amount of protein in to help maintain or actually build some muscle, because it's not too late to build. That's the crazy thing. Are you going to be a bodybuilder at age 60? Probably not, but you can still build a lot of decent muscle mass as you get older. And so getting protein as part of a priority in your nutrition is vital. And not only from that perspective, but from a weight loss perspective, it also keeps you feeling fuller for a longer period of time. And so, when you're trying to lose weight, that's always an added bonus as well.
If you enjoyed this short episode, check out our full library on our NANP YouTube channel, where you can catch up or learn more. Keep in mind that the information on the NAMP podcast is for educational purposes only and should not be considered medical or legal advice. The NAMP is not liable or responsible for any harm, damage, or illness arising from the use of the information contained herein. By listening to the information on this podcast, you agree to defend, indemnify, and hold harmless the NAMP and all agents. Copyright NAMP, all rights reserved.